It saddens me to realize that a part of my people continues to believe the rhetoric that the Black community is fed that says that our survival depends upon our dividing ourselves from our children, from our parents, from our families and friends. It wasn't too very long ago that people were telling Black people who we could marry and who we could not marry. It wasn't too long ago that Black people were not even allowed to marry in this country because we were property and others controlled our bodies. We weren't allowed to control our own bodies. And then we had a little bit of progress and we were allowed to marry. And then there even came a point that we could marry anyone that we chose to marry. And the Black community celebrated that. And yet now somehow we have forgotten where we've come from. And we want to push the clock back to a time that was horrendous in our history. And the reality is that love is love. It does not, God created us to be people in community. God created us to be in relationship with one another, to honor and respect and care for one another. And gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered people want to do the same as every other moral and responsible person, to care for one another. And any of the efforts to deny basic human rights to any segment of the people is immoral and is, to me, a sin. The real impact is that if I lived in Florida and became ill, my partner would not be able to visit me in the hospital. I could not determine to whom my property would be left. Someone else would make that decision for me. A loving relationship where we have sustained one another for years would be of absolutely no value, would not be taken into consideration. It is an abject denial of what many of us understand being American means. It means being free to control our bodies, free to control our lives, and we're suddenly being put in a position of, again, turning back the hands of time so that a segment of the Black population will no longer be free. I believe in fairness for all families, and I want no more and no less than full fairness for my own family. And so I hope and indeed pray the people of Florida will simply say no. I love my family. I believe in fairness for all families. And for that reason, I hope that the people of Florida who believe in love, fairness, and family will just vote no.